We looked into the formation and the use of yes/no questions and WH questions. Okay. Do you have any questions regarding what we have covered in the last class? Does anyone have any questions about what we have done in the last class? You can raise your hand and unmute yourself and ask me. Anything? So there are no questions about asking questions. Shall I take a quiz now and then find out how much you have actually understood? Are you ready for that? Would you like me to do that? If no one responds, no, ma'am, then I'll be taking the quiz.
No, ma'am.
Feel free, I've told you, feel free to unmute yourself and talk. No problem about that. Okay, because this is a language classroom. You have to talk if you really want to improve your language. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, to continue with our practice of asking questions, we're going to do a little bit of classwork. I'm going to be sharing my screen. I'm going to be showing you some conversation cards, okay? So just give me a minute while I share my screen with you. Okay, can you all see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so so we're going to have some practice of asking questions and also responding to questions. So in the last class, we looked into asking questions. We saw how we formed questions. So in this class, we're going to look into responding to different questions and how we can respond to the different WH words, questions, and we can understand the meaning of WH words and also look into responding to yes/no questions with yes or no, and not just yes and no, but also how we can volunteer some more information. Okay, so as you can see here, you have a number of conversation cards. So conversation cards, each of the card asks you a questions and it's about experience, okay, the kind of experiences we have had in our lives. And okay, let me just go down a little bit more so all of you can see this. Shall I just minimize a little bit so all of you can see it can fit in the screen together? Okay, is this a little bit better? Can you see all of it together in one go? Yeah? So as you can see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, so 18 cards altogether, 18 conversation cards. And each one of the card has a few questions. Now, please look at the conversation cards, read them through, okay? And a sample of it would be like in the first conversation card we have you ever been abroad? Where have you been? Which country would you like to visit and why? The second conversation card, if I go from top to down, from top to bottom, have you ever seen a ghost? Do you believe in ghosts? Talk about it. The third one, have you ever been camping? Where did you go? Did you like it? Talk about it. Have you ever broken a bone or been in a hospital? Oh God, I hope the answer is definitely no, but if you have, talk about it. Have you ever met a celebrity? Who was it? Talk about it. Have you ever told a big lie to someone close to you? Tell the class if you want. Well, yes, if you want. It doesn't have to be a big lie. Maybe it can be a small lie. Don't worry about it. I don't think there is anyone in the world who hasn't ever told a lie. If anyone does say that, that's the biggest lie. Okay? Okay, so then if we go on to the next row, have you ever ridden a horse, an elephant, a camel, a motorbike, anything else? Talk about it. Have you ever bought a lottery ticket? Okay, have you ever won anything? And then have you ever cheated on an exam? How did you do it? Talk about it. Yes, I would love to know about that. Have you ever done anything that you totally regretted, that you're really sorry about, you're really sad about, you wish you hadn't done it? What was it? Have you ever performed in public? Have you ever sang on stage, played music, acted, spoken, given a public speech? And then have you ever seen a tornado or any other form of natural disaster? What other natural disaster do you know? Make a list. Have you ever traveled by plane or ship? Which one would you prefer? Have you ever visited a fortune teller? Do you know what a fortune teller is? Does anyone know what a fortune teller is? Feel free to unmute yourself and tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, what is it? What is a fortune teller?
Ma'am, a fortune teller can be many types.
Mhm.
There are tarot traders. Then, ma'am, I don't know what exactly they're called. It's like globe shaped.
Yes,
They
yes, I
sit
understand.
in front of that.
Yeah.
Then, ma'am, there are birds.
Oh, yes,
They
the bird.
collect them.
We call the
Yes,
bird. But the
yes,
most
ma'am.
common one in Bangladesh, which one do you think
Yes,
is
ma'am.
the most common one?
Ma'am, I saw this one.
Oh, yeah.
Bird reading card.
But what do you think is the most common one in Bangladesh? What kind of fortune
Mm,
teller do we have?
ma'am, maybe this bird collect when picking some cards for me.
Oh,
I
really?
saw it many times when
Okay, okay. I've seen it in movies and in TV shows, but I haven't actually seen it actually in real life. But one of the most common fortune teller I think in Bangladesh is palm readers, right? They take your hand and they read your palm. Have you ever had that? Have you ever seen that, or have you ever experienced that?
ma'am, not a real one, but my uncle once did that to me.
Ah, okay. So you have to talk about this, okay? This is your card. I'm assigning you this one. Okay, so the next one, thank you very much. Have you ever been to an amusement park? What were your favorite rides? And then have you ever been to the zoo? I think everyone has at some point or other in their life. And which animal did you like the most? Have you ever been on radio or TV? Ooh, are you famous? Are you a celebrity? Talk about it. Have you ever called a woman sir or a man madam? What happened then? I would love to know. Have you ever botched up something like this? In that case, what happened? Okay, so these are the conversation cards. So what I would like each one of you to do, choose one conversation card. Okay, think about it for a minute. And then when I call out your names, I'm going to be calling out your name. Okay, specifically, I would like you to discuss, respond to the questions in that card. Is that clear, everyone?
Yes, miss. Ma'am, can I get anything else but the fortune teller?
Ah, why? No one has told you your fortune?
I don't know, ma'am. It's just weird.
Well, in life we have to talk about weird things. If anyone told me, I don't know, say in 2019 that I would be taking class staring into a computer, I would have just laughed my head off, right? See, life just throws us so many things, and we just have to know how to deal with it. So, what do you say? Go for it, yeah?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for being brave enough to try something new. Okay, amazing. Okay, so everyone, do you all understand what I've just said? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, miss.
Okay, a little bit more yes, enthusiasm, please. Yes, we do. Yes, we are so excited. Yes, we can't wait to start talking about it. This is what I want. Okay? For those of you who
Yes.
are secretly happy,
Yes, ma'am.
who are chewing your food, uh, you can talk with your mouth full. Don't worry about it. I'm also having my tea, so don't worry. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so let's go. I'll give you a minute now. It's 8:23. So at 8:24 or maybe 8:25, I'm going to be calling out names and I'm going to be asking you um, about your experience. And I'm not going to limit myself to just these questions, okay? So whatever response you give me, I'm going to be asking you questions on that too. So really think about it. Choose your card and really think about it. If you want, you can write down the points Not a problem. But please remember, this is more a speaking practice, so you have to talk to me about it. Don't read it out. Okay, then. Everyone ready? Are you all ready to talk about your experiences? Yes? No?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's start. So, first, I would like to ask Asif Imtiaz, 4033. Is Asif here with us today? Asif Imtiaz, can you please unmute yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Asif, you're breaking up a little bit. Okay, so tell me, which conversation card did you choose?
Ma'am, I can see the password. Have you ever been abroad?
Okay, this seems to be one of the most popular ones. If I have too many people responding to the same one, I'm going to ask that person to choose another one. So be ready. Okay, so have two conversation cards ready, everyone. Make sure you have two conversation cards ready, because if the one you have picked is a very common one, or if it's one that it's very popular, that everyone is talking about it, I want you to talk about something else. Okay, Asif, tell me, so have you ever been abroad?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. I had been in, ma'am, I had been in abroad.
You have been abroad, and which country have you been to?
I had been in United States of America.
You have been to USA.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. Lucky. I'm sure a lot of people are going, wow, and they're saying like, ooh, so lucky, right? Everyone, am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's all say wow together. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Wow. Okay, there you go. See, Asif, you're so lucky.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so tell me, why did you visit that country? Why did you visit?
Ma'am, it was an official visit. For some official purpose, I had been to USA. It was a course for 1 month. I had
Okay,
been
now
in.
you're double lucky. Now you're extra lucky because you got to visit it, like on someone else's money. So you're
Yeah.
extra lucky. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Of course, I'm like.
Okay. And what was the course? Can you please share with
It is about some sorts of defense equipment. That defense equipment is about electronic warfare,
me? Hmm.
and and the course was about how this equipment operates. All sorts of.
Oh, wow. Okay. And which state did you visit?
I was in California.
California. Okay. It is the western side, right? That's
Yes.
they call it the western coast. Okay. And which cities did you visit in California?
I visited San Francisco, Los Angeles, Fremont district.
Oh, oh, you visited all the exciting cities, San Francisco, Los Angeles. Did you go to Hollywood?
Yes, of course. As I had been in Los Angeles, I should go to Hollywood.
Of course, you should. Did you meet any celebrities? Now, this is very exciting. Please tell me you met
No,
Tom Hanks.
no, ma'am, I was in Hollywood, but I did not meet any celebrity.
Oh, come on. What do you mean? You didn't see Tom Cruise, running around and you didn't see Michelle Pfeiffer? That's sad.
No,
Okay, so did you like it there?
of
Did
course,
you enjoy your trip?
of course, ma'am. I have enjoyed all 1 month. Every day I try to go some places, new places, and always I had a dream to visit the offices of like Facebook, Microsoft, and Mozilla, all sorts of IT sort of companies. I had a dream from my
Oh,
childhood, and my dream was
amazing.
fulfilled.
Visiting the corporate offices of Facebook and Microsoft. Did you go to Google?
Yes, ma'am. Also Google.
Oh, wow, that is an amazing experience. How many
Yes,
of
ma'am.
you like that experience? Anyone? How many of you like to visit those offices? No one? Come on, I'm sure. Yes, yes, raise your hand, raise your hand. Lots of people raise your hands. Yes, I'm sure all of you would love that because you're all students of computer science and engineering, right? That is kind of like your mothership. That is kind of like where you all aspire to be. So yes, that's amazing. Oh, that's an amazing experience, Asif. So I'm just asking, do you think that this course or this visit, this trip, actually has helped you with your professional life?
Of course, ma'am. It helped me a lot in terms of my service. It helped me. I have learned many things about the equipment that I will contribute in my service. Also about experience. I have experience about how about some cultures abroad they are practicing and also their lifestyle. And we had many misconceptions, so those were clarified, and it was a great experience.
Yes, I'm sure. And I'm sure that you have brought that learning back, and I'm sure you're going to contribute to the benefit of that with our country. Okay? Okay, thank you, Asif.
Okay, ma'am.
Wonderful start to the experience part. Okay, so now I'm going to ask Suraya Siddiqa Cynthia 4099. Are you here? 4099, Suraya? Is Suraya here? Okay, if you're not here when I ask you, I'm going to be taking it as you are not in the class. Okay, so Afia Lubaina, are you here? Afia?
Assalamualaikum, ma'am.
Assalam.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Afia. So tell me, which conversation card did you pick?
Uh, it is Miss. I'm searching for my earphone.
Okay, take your time to fix it and then tell me. Tell us, not me. Tell us.
Yes, miss.
Yes, so tell me, which conversation card have you picked?
The first one. Have you ever been
No, we have just talked about that. So let's go on to another one. Everyone pick two cards, okay? Because I can see some of them will be really popular. So I want to make sure that everyone talks about different kinds of experience. We are not fixed on the same one all the time. So choose another one of you. Or do you want me to choose it for you?
Ma'am, you can choose.
Okay, then I'm going to ask you the one that all the students dread. Have you ever cheated on an exam?
Oh,
Be honest. I'm not going to be judging you here. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to be telling anyone.
Well, everyone is hearing. um,
And yes, this is being recorded, so you have to remember that too. But don't worry, we're not going to judge you. Don't worry about that.
if you say if I have asked any answers from my friend, then definitely everyone does that. But if you ask me if I've taken any kind of cheat sheet or I have written any kind of answers in a paper and taken to my exam hall, that's gonna be a no, because I didn't do that. But
What about in your hand? Have you ever written anything in your hand?
no, obviously no.
Obviously.
And
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, so it's limited to just looking around and glancing at your friends and then whispering, "Do you know what this one is?"
yes, that's common. I think everyone does that.
Okay, everyone does that, but just because everyone does that doesn't mean that it's not cheating. You know,
Uh,
it is cheating to a little bit.
yeah,
Okay, we have to admit that. Okay, and you're right. You're right. Everyone does that. Even I have done it. Don't worry about it.
I
Okay.
don't think anyone is able to do that in MIST, but I was able to do that in my college and schools.
Okay. So which college and school did you go to?
I was in Holy Cross College and I was in Shweed Anwar School.
Oh, but those are both very tough. How did you manage to do that in those schools and college?
Just like I said, everyone does that.
Okay, so and what did you ask your friend? You know, like which one was your most difficult subject that you constantly found yourself, okay, looking around? Which one was your weaker one?
I actually don't remember.
Okay,
The
for me it was
theoretical ones
maths. For me it
probably.
was maths. I remember I used to like make, like confirm the answers with the people around to make sure that I had got it right.
Okay.
What about the rest of you? Which exam did you, like which exam did you look around the most and you had to confirm with others? In most cases, I think it's maths, right?
I think it's chemistry or any theoretical subjects.
Okay, that I don't know because I have been a student of humanities all my life, so I can't tell about that. But maths I had to do, and I know doing statistics or mathematics, I have to like confirm. I wouldn't say it's cheating, it's borderline, I think. It's more like, okay, just confirm that the answer that I got was right, or in accounting. Okay, and nothing else. Are you sure, Afia? There was nothing else, no other kind of cheating you ever did?
I'd say I was always afraid of doing those things. Yeah, up to grade 8, I didn't even ask anyone about any kind of. I didn't even talk in exam hall. I just gave my exam, came out, and in grade 9 and 10, I did ask some of my friends, and also in college because subjects got tougher day by day.
Yeah, and the stakes became higher because in grade 9 and 10, and then you have public exams, you have SC, and then you have HSC. So the stakes are higher, and then obviously you are under constant pressure to do better and to do well and not to miss any marks, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Afia. Thank you for and thank you for sharing with us. I know it's not easy talking about our secrets in front of others. It makes it easier when you're actually just staring into the computer, right? And you can't actually see the faces of other people. So maybe it makes it a little bit easier. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so the next person I'm going to ask is Nafiz Ahmed. Is there Nafiz Ahmed here? 84081. Nafiz Ahmed?
Yes, ma'am, I'm present.
Okay, Nafiz, can you please tell me which conversation card you chose and give your responses to that?
Ma'am, I would like to choose the question. Have you ever visited a fortune teller? Talk about it.
Oh, okay. Have you ever visited a fortune teller? Okay, tell us. It sounds like quite an experience. Tell us.
Yes, ma'am, I have been to a fortune teller since 10 years ago.
Okay, can I just interrupt you for a minute? Do you believe in fortune telling?
No, ma'am.
Then why did you go to a fortune teller?
Ma'am, I was a child then, and my cousin took me there.
Oh, okay, okay. You're forced to. Okay, then.
Um, I visited my grandma home in Rajshahi. My cousin took me there. There was a old woman, old age woman. She used to talk about future. So my cousin took me there and told me to show my hand there. I showed it, and the woman told that I'll get married to a beautiful woman. Yeah.
I'm afraid to ask, but has that actually happened?
No, ma'am.
Okay, not yet. Okay,
Yes,
we'll take it as not yet. And then what else did she say?
And she told that I'll be studying engineering, and that is true.
Oh, she said that you'll be an engineer.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Did she specifically say you'll be an engineer, or did she say something like, "Oh, you're going to be so successful, you're going to do something really great"?
No, she specifically told that I will be studying engineering.
Okay. What do you think? Do you think it's somehow in your subconscious mind, it just, it fixed in it just like kind of like absorbed in your subconscious mind, and then you kind of like, um, pursued that because of what she told you, or do you think it actually happened because of that? What?
Actually, ma'am, that's very common to guess because I have a dream to become an engineer from this since childhood.
Oh,
And
really?
yes, and I used to tell everybody that, so it's been very easy to guess, I guess.
Oh, okay, okay. So maybe your cousin shared that with her. You
Maybe.
never know. Yeah? Or
Yes.
maybe she just heard it, because these people are usually very well informed. They make it their business to know everything about everybody. Okay. And what else did she tell you? I'm intrigued. What else did she tell you?
And nothing more actually. When I have heard that she told about something about engineering, I haven't asked her something else, and I just moved on.
Oh, you're just so excited to hear that, yes, you're going to be an engineer in the future, that, okay, that's it. You
Yes.
didn't want to hear anything about the beautiful woman?
No, ma'am.
I would have been interested more in that, but okay. Okay, then. So I'm sure one of the things she predicted is coming true. I'm not going to say it is true yet because you still have to complete it. So one of the things she predicted is coming true, that you're on your way to becoming an engineer, and hopefully, inshallah, the other one will also come true, right?
Inshallah, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, everyone. So thank you very much, Nafiz. That was a very interesting experience. Let me see. I think well, maybe one day I'll visit a fortune teller and um, ask her. I don't know. I think probably by this time I already have become whatever I'm going to become, and I've already met whoever I have met. Probably I'll ask her how I'm going to die. Other than that, I don't think there's much of a future left. Okay, but one interesting thing about fortune tellers, I don't know if has anyone else ever been to a fortune teller? Please raise your hand. Raise your hand. Anyone else? Has anyone else ever been to a fortune teller? Palm reader, gaze into the crystal globe, tarot reader, anything like that? Feel free to raise your hand. No one? Oh, come on. We're all very intrigued by it, aren't we? We're all very excited if someone tells us the fortune. Like, I remember when we were young, a lot of our friends, they were very excited about, palm readers and, about anyone who could read their palm and tell them the future, because there was the future in front of us. At this moment, it feels like, okay, we have already lived our lives. So at that time, we were very interested. And I just noticed some common trends that the fortune tellers usually have. Number one, they will say that you were really sick, you had a major illness when you were young. Well, that hits home because everyone has been ill, has had some kind of a serious illness and they were young. Number two, they'll tell you that um, everyone misunderstands you. No one actually understands you. No one really knows who the real you is. Okay. And the third thing they'll tell you is that someone very close has hurt you sometime in your life. Okay, tick, 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 because it's all true. Because I think everyone, like it's kind of like a general assumption, like we have all been hurt at some time or other by someone in our lives, and we all think that nobody understands me. We all feel like we have been misunderstood, and then obviously all of us have had some kind of illness at some time or other in our lives. So yeah, So yes, that's some of the common threads of fortune telling. Okay. Thank you, Nafiz. And now I'm going to move on to Naima Zahan. Naima 4073, are you here? Naima 4073. Please unmute yourself. Are you here? No? Okay, can I ask Abrar Mahir? Is Abrar Mahir here? 4003? No?
Assalamu alaikum, ma'am. Abramaya Yassim is here.
He's here?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
Okay, Abrar. Then can you please tell me which conversation card you have picked?
Mm, Ma'am, have you ever been in hospital?
Have you ever been to a hospital? Okay, but it's not just have you ever been to a hospital. Have you ever broken a bone or been to a hospital? So tell me, which one is that?
Ma'am, I have broken my leg after playing football
Oh, that's
during play.
painful. So which part of your leg? I mean, was it the knee? Was it, like which part?
Ankle.
Your ankle. Oh, that is really painful. So how did it happen? Tell us.
I was playing football and was dribbling, but when I was turning, my ankle was sprung and I sprung, and thus after going to hospital,
You sprained it or did you break it? Because sprain is like when you twist it and break is when you actually break a bone. So which one was it?
I'm fractured.
Oh, it's a fracture. Oh, then you definitely broke a bone. Okay. Okay, how old were you then?
I was in class 8 then.
Oh, okay. So quite some time back. Okay, and then what happened?
Then I rushed to hospital and x-rayed, and the doctor reported that my ankle was broken and I had to take rest for 3 weeks.
Did you have your leg in a cast?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you have your leg in a cast? Like, did they, wrap it around and then you had to, you understand what a cast is, right? They tightly wrap it and then they sling it up so that you can't move your leg. Was it like that?
Ma'am, first week was like that, but at second week and third week, I felt clear and easy.
Okay. And did you have to use a crutch to move around when you finally were allowed to move around? Did you have to use a crutch?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So how did you how did you move around with the bandage and everything?
Plastered. I have plastered my leg, left leg.
Yeah. With the plaster, how did you manage to move around with the plaster if you didn't have a crutch or if you didn't take the help of something?
Ma'am, my brother helped me.
Okay. Okay. Did you have, and you didn't have to use a wheelchair or something like that, did you?
No, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Does it still give you trouble? Like, is it okay now, or maybe sometimes, like you have to be careful with it, and suddenly, you feel like something is wrong with your ankle. Has it ever happened, or you have to be extra careful about it? You can't play football anymore.
Ma'am, I can play football anymore, but I I decided to not play football anymore.
Oh, that is so sad. Why? Because of your ankle?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you miss playing football then?
Sorry, ma'am.
Do you miss playing football?
Ma'am, quite a lot.
Okay, so maybe I think you can play in the games where, you can tell your friends to go easy on you. It doesn't have to be a hardcore competitive game. It can be just, kind of like practice or a friendly match or something like that, okay? Just tell them that I miss playing. I just want to play. So guys, go easy on me. Don't trip me up or anything.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. And I hope that your ankle never gives you any kind of trouble in the future, because usually fractures, even after they heal, as you grow older, they start giving trouble as you grow older. I know because unfortunately I had fractured my knee. Although it healed, but now as I'm growing older, at times I do feel this sudden stab of pain, and it does give me trouble time to time. So I have to be careful. So you're right to be careful. You're right to be careful, but I think you can sometimes, just have a game or two just to, because you miss it so much. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Abrar. Okay. So
Thank you,
now,
ma'am. Assalamu alaikum, ma'am.
Aslam. So now let's go on to. I'm really happy that you're choosing different kinds of conversation cards, because in that way we get to know everyone's experience about different things. So is Faria Islam here? 4021.
Yes, Miss Emily.
Okay, Faria. So tell me, which conversation card have you picked?
Miss have you ever been into the zoo? That one.
Okay, have you ever been to the zoo, and what is your response?
Yes, ma'am, I have been to zoo.
You have been to the zoo, and which zoo was that?
Miss, it was in Chittagong.
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought that it would be the zoo in Dhaka. But okay, tell me about the zoo in Chittagong. I have never actually been there.
So I visited Chittagong. Actually, I live in Dhaka. So it was last year.
Okay.
It was a really nice zoo, and I really liked it.
Okay, so how old were you when you visited the zoo?
Miss, it was only last year.
Oh, last year. Oh, then it's still fresh in your mind. Very good. So tell us, which animals did you see?
So there were I remember there were lots of birds, zebras, deers, tigers.
Mhm.
There were ostrich, and I remember that specifically because I was scared. I was being really scared of those. So
The ostriches?
um, they scared me a bit. That's why I remember those
Yes,
specifically.
they are a little bit scary. Yes, they are a bit intimidating, because when you see them face to face, and they have these long necks, and it's almost like they're towering over you, and they have this look, they just look at you without blinking. And I think that's a little bit scary. You're right about that.
Yes, and they're very loud.
Yes, they're very loud too. And they look a bit aggressive, don't they?
And yes, and they're huge in size also.
Yeah, yeah. And especially when they, kind of like, I don't know, when they fluff up their feathers. Have you seen them fluffing up their feathers? They look even bigger. And I think that's when you like, oh my God, that's a really big bird. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So which animal did you like the best?
Yes, I like the snake.
The snakes.
Yes, it looked really beautiful, and it was changing its shell. I started changing its shell.
Let me see if I have heard you correctly. You're talking about snakes or snake?
Yes, miss. Snake.
Snake, 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 right?
Yes, miss.
Ah, okay. Well, you know, in a way, I think all of us are fascinated by snakes. We all are scared of snakes, I'm sure. Is there anyone who's not scared of snakes? Anyone who loves snakes? No. I don't expect any raised hands for this question. But yes, we are all scared of snakes, but somehow we are all very fascinated by snakes, right? It's like they're these mysterious creatures, and we're like, you know, like silent, and something is very fascinating, alluring about snakes. And that's why we have so many movies based on that, right? I think if we look at the movies that are based on animals, we'll find that snakes take the top spot. Most of the movies are based on snakes, you know, that mysterious snake turning into a lady and then turning back into the snake, right? So yes. Okay, so tell me, what kind of snakes did you see?
Yes, I don't remember the kind.
Okay, did you see the king cobra?
I really don't remember.
Okay, so I know, like, let me see some of the poisonous snakes. Okay, who can tell me the name of some poisonous snakes? Just unmute yourself and tell me the names.
Ma'am, king cobra, black mamba.
Yes, very good. What else? Asif, you have been to San Francisco, right?
Rattlesnake.
Rattlesnake, very good. This is in the desert and I think also in San Francisco, rattlesnakes are a big problem. They're something that you have to be very careful about. Yes, they're very poisonous. Okay.
Vipers.
Vipers, yes, very good. Vipers, they're also very poisonous. My gosh, it seems like I'm actually taking a class of biology students because you know so much of snakes, not engineering students. That's very good. I'm very impressed to see your general knowledge. Okay. Okay, then Faria. Faria, have you ever been to the zoo in Dhaka?
No, miss, I have not been there.
Then you should visit the zoo in Dhaka. It's huge, it's really big, and I have so many good memories of visiting the zoo when I was a small child. Because at that time we didn't have a lot of amusement parks or things like that. So basically, our places to visit were the zoo, I think the Shishu Park in Shawbag, and also the botanical gardens. Yes, right next to the zoo. So if you get a chance, visit the zoo in Dhaka. I'm sure you'll like it. It's quite big. And also, if you can go to the botanical gardens, I think it's one of the few places that we actually have a lot of space. It's lovely to just walk around, because we're so cramped for space these days. Yeah? Okay. Okay, then. Thank you, Faria.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is the last person that I am going to be asking to respond, because then I'll be going over to the next I will be going over to the next slideshow. So is there Wazidul Islam here, 4044?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Wazidul Islam, can you tell me which conversation card you picked, and let's hear your experience?
No, ma'am, have you ever performed in public? This one.
Okay, so have you ever performed in public? Tell me. That's an interesting one.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay, so tell us, what did you do?
As you know that I have joined in army, but before that I was kind of shy guy, so kind of introvert. And
Are you telling us that you're not introvert anymore? Yes, Wazidul, I'm
So
asking you. I have just asked you. So what do you think? You think you have changed now? You're not introvert anymore?
well, definitely changed because earlier I was kind of afraid or I could not express myself properly, but now I can express myself a little bit better than before.
Okay. Okay, that's wonderful. Okay, so tell us, what did you do?
First of all, after the training, I became confident about public speaking, and also uh, I came on stage and performed. I have sang on stage. I have
You
played
sang
music.
on stage.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you play any instrument?
I have played guitar once, but
Oh,
not that much.
okay. So you actually, oh my goodness, we have a musician in our midst. Very good. You know what I'm going to ask you to do one day, Wazibul? I'm going to ask you to sing for us. Why don't you do right now? Why don't you do that right now? Why don't you just sing a
Yes,
bit for
ma'am.
us? Don't worry. We'd love to hear you sing. Right, everyone? Say yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
See, all your friends are
Ma'am.
waiting for you. Go on. Now, this is your chance to shine and perform in public. Just sing a few lines. Go ahead.
Ma'am, let me give me few minutes. I'll think of it, and I'll sing. No problem.
Okay, okay, yes, we're all waiting to hear you sing. Okay, and also if you can play the guitar, no problem.
Ma'am, I'm in class, so
Oh, okay,
right
you're
now
in
I
class.
cannot do
Okay,
it.
okay, okay, so that I
Uh,
guess it's difficult. Okay.
So my first time was in just after joining in the unit. So that
Mhm,
time, so I was asked to perform on stage, but
mhm.
I didn't do it before. I never knew that I could sing or something like that. So I was almost forced. Okay, new officer came, so junior officer, let
Mhm.
him perform something.
Okay.
So I went on the stage. I was very nervous. I was shivering kind of. So what will happen? What will happen? Then I started singing, and people appreciated that. Okay, you can sing good, you can sing well. So that time I got some bit of confidence.
Okay.
Uh, Later on, when I went, it is never easy going onto the stage. It is never easy,
Yes,
but
that's
at some time people get used to it. Like,
mhm.
okay, the nervousness, it is always there, but you know how to hide it. And when it becomes your habit, okay, now I can hide so just
But
confident, but
I love the way you have expressed it. I love that. You're absolutely right. That yes, that nervousness is always there, but you just become better at hiding it. That's true. Absolutely right. Do you know I perform also?
oh ma'am, what it is?
Yes, I perform 3 times a week. I perform in front of my students. I take class, my public speaking class in a way. So that is also one kind of performance, you know? And
Yes, ma'am.
let me share with all of you a little secret. Before every class, I am a little bit nervous. That's true. Before every class, I'm a bit nervous. But then after many, many years of practice, you just become really good at hiding it. So all of you, never ever be scared. Just remember, all of us are scared. All of us are nervous. We just have to know how to get over it. That's it. Yeah. So have that confidence.
Yes, ma'am, exactly.
Okay. Thank you, Azadul. That was a very interesting experience sharing by all of you. I really loved hearing about all that experiences. What about all of you? Did you guys enjoy that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Yes, that was really lovely. Okay, so now what we are going to do, let me move on to our next part of the class. Let me just stop the screen sharing. I'm going to be uploading this on Google Classroom. Okay, all of you have a look at the different conversation cards and also think about the other cards as well, not just the ones that you have talked about today, but also look at the other ones and then think about those. Think about those experiences. Think about how you would talk about those experiences, because you never know. Suddenly, one fine day, I might suddenly tell you to, okay, tell me about this. Okay. Okay, then. Okay. So our next part of the lesson, going a little bit fast here today because we have a lot of ground to cover. So we're going to be talking about likes and dislikes. Okay, this is in line with conversation. This is in line with experience. What we have just talked about. So in many cases, as you have noticed, that in many of the experiences, we were asked that, did you like it? So did you enjoy it? So what happened? Okay, so in line with that, we're going to talk about likes and dislikes today. Okay, and we're going to, when we're talking about likes and dislikes, we're going to be looking at the different ways we can express our likes and dislikes. We all have likes and dislikes, right? We all have things that we like. We all have people that we like. We all have, we all like different kinds of experience. But then on the other hand, we also have things that we don't like. There are people that we, well, we are not too keen on, and I'm not going to say we hate or dislike, because that's not a nice way of describing people. And we also, obviously, all of us hope that some things never happen in our lives, and we all have different experiences that we wish that hadn't ever happened in our life. So let's look into different ways of expressing likes, okay? So I'm also going to share another PowerPoint with you. Just give me 1 second. Okay, where is that? Okay, can you all see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then. So different ways of saying I like. Okay, like is the most common word. Like is the most common term. Like is the general term, right? But depending on how much we like something, how we like something, to what level we like something, to what depth we like something, we have the different forms of like. Okay, we have, as you can see, so many different ways of expressing like. We have love, we have admire, we have favor, take pleasure in, get a kick out of, profit from, cherish, blah, 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 all these. So just take a minute to go over the words that you see on screen. Just take a minute to go over the words you see on screen, and then we're going to be discussing how they are similar and different, and in what context they can be used. Okay, everyone, ready for the discussion? Okay, so as you can see, some other ways of saying we like something are, number one, we have love. Okay, so how do you think like and love are different? Saika, Sabrina, 4105, are you here?
Assalamu alaikum, ma'am.
Aslam, Saika, have I, okay, that's,
If I give an example between love and like,
I'm sorry, Saika, I can't seem to hear you clearly. What about the rest of you? Can you hear her clearly?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Saika, do you mind speaking up a little bit? Because we seem to be having some trouble with the audio. Can you speak up a bit? Okay, so give me an example of something you like and give me an example of something you love.
difficult to explain to get more.
Yeah, don't have to explain. I know it's difficult to explain. So I'm not going to ask for the explanation. Just give me an example.
For example, between love and like, we can tell about the lovable person of our family members. The family members, we love them. It is unconditional love. And if I tell about likings, then it can be anything, them, anything in subject or in material. Everything can be likable, but lovable thing is a specific one or a specific person.
Okay, so from what I could make of it, because unfortunately I couldn't hear all that clearly, like is a more general thing. A lot of things can be likable, but love is for more specific. It's a deeper feeling, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Saika. Okay, yes, that's true. Because you see, we can use like and love maybe sometimes for the same thing, but then again, at times there are things that we generally like, and love is a much more deeper feeling, right? Love, for example, we love our mother, right? The best example. I don't think there can be a better example than that. So you see, that is love. The extent of your feeling, the depth of your feeling for that person or a thing. So like can be, say, I like my neighbors, you know, they are very nice people. I like my neighbors, but I can't say I love them, you know. And but you know, like I love my family. There are some at times I don't like them a lot because of, you know, all the arguments and disagreements we have, but I always love them. You understand the difference now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm sure I think most of you can relate to that, right? That sometimes, you know, like for example, your younger brother who's pestering you and always nagging and always around you when your friends come over. Oh, at that time you want to tear that person up, right? You really don't like that person at that time, but you never stop loving that person. Yeah. So I think that is one way of expressing it. Okay. Okay, so now let's look into enjoy. Okay, so yes, when we enjoy something, that is also another way of saying that we like something. We can say we adore. Adore is obviously a little bit more of a deeper. That's someone we adore or we admire. Okay, oh, admire is right there. And then we have prefer. We have something we fancy. Then something we favor. When we appreciate something or we're fond of someone or something, we take pleasure in having something or doing something. We have a weakness for something or we are really into something. Now, being into something, it's a little bit more of an informal way of expressing, but these days I think it goes with every situation. But being into something that you're really committed and you really enjoy something, you get a kick out of something. Again, a little bit of an informal expression, something that we don't usually use in formal context, that, oh, we really enjoy that, you know, like, oh, I get a kick out of it. Okay, we go for something that this is something we prefer. This is something, if given the choice, that is what we would pick. We are partial to something, again, that this is something that we lean towards, something we prefer. We profit from something. This is a little bit of a more formal term, as you can understand, that I can actually profit from this experience. So yes, we get some advantage or we get some benefit from it. We relish something. Again, talking about experience or usually talking about food, you know, sometimes when we really enjoy something. Okay, we value, again, when we respect and we value something, obviously we like it, and that's why we respect and value it. We cherish it, we hold it in deep esteem or in high regard, okay? And we find something doing worthwhile, okay? When you do something, when you feel like it's benefiting you, and then we find it worthwhile doing, we are pleased by, we're delighted by, enough of something. Okay, so that's also another way of expressing that we like something a lot. Okay. Any problems with any of the expressions that I have just shared on screen? Is there anything that you don't understand or you have a question about? Anyone? Okay, so now what I would like you to do, I would like each one of you to use at least 5 of the words that you see on screen and make sentences from them, with them, depending, with different context and situations. Okay, any 5 of the words that we can use instead of
Ma'am, would you explain quite keen on?
Okay, I'm quite keen on. So I am quite keen on is something that it's like I'm quite interested in. Okay, I'm quite keen on. I'm quite interested in. I would like to. Okay, for example, let me see. Okay, let me give you an example. Maybe that would be helpful. Okay, I'm quite keen on learning a new language. Okay. I think that it will be interesting. So I'm quite keen about it. Is that clear? No? Okay, yes. Good. Anyone else? Any questions?
Ma'am, find Othwell to the it will be better if you give an example, ma'am.
Okay, sure. Okay, so for example, I can say, you're talking about finding something worthwhile doing, right? Okay, so I'm like, why don't you take up yoga? I'm sure you'll